Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my monthly review for this month's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series. This is for issue 180 now. It is part 6 of 6 for New World Order. And spoiler warning, as per usual, if you guys have not read this issue for the Walking Dead comic book series as of yet. So kind of I want to say, sort of relaxing issue for the Walking Dead comic book series. In this issue, we basically get to see a political meetup between the leader of the Commonwealth, which is Governor Pamela Milton, still like the name, and Rick Grimes of Alexandria, of course. So we get to see them actually meet and, I guess, feel each other out, or just kind of get to know each other and understand each other. And probably the highlights of the issue for me was some of the humor in it, or some of the, I wouldn't say comedy, but just kind of funny lines, like when Rick says governor with a question mark, right, as she introduces herself as Governor Milton, and you can see the hand and everything. And so they kind of get to know each other a little bit. He tells her a little bit about the governor who cut his freaking hand off in the comic book series. And so that's why he's kind of on edge a little bit. Some other funny parts when you have Dwight, who kind of rolls up with the entire military, and Rick tells him to stand down because he's freaking everybody out, which is funny. And then also I like, too, when Eugene finally, returns to Rick and gives the katana to Rick. He absolutely freaks out, at the sight of it, because, seeing Michonne without the katana, for him, of course, and this being The Walking Dead, he must assume right away that she's dead. So he's absolutely losing his mind because somebody else who's very important to him has seemingly died. But then Eugene tells him that, no, it's okay. It's just that Michonne found her daughter there, Elodie, so she's going to stay there with her, and this whole thing. And Rick's like, this is impossible. And Eugene it's kind of funny that he, talks about the mathematical probabilities of it being impossible. It's like, yeah, it is, but it's what happens. So yeah. So those are probably my favorite parts of the issue. We also have Michonne, who gets her new apartment, and they want her to basically practice law. So this is going to be really strange. So far, she's been going along with this. She's been kind of, doing what they want her to do, and the whole thing does sound really too good to be true. She's got like this wicked cool place to live in, which looks like kind of like a modern, I don't know, just a really expensive kind of apartment or building or this kind of deal, where she can actually have like a law office in there too. And her daughter will be able to be her assistant and actually kind of work for her. It just all sounds to be, just a little bit too perfect or too easy for her, I would think, after everything she's kind of been through and everything she struggled for and had to fight for throughout the zombie apocalypse so far, to be able to put down the sword and just kind of go back to kind of regular living, where she doesn't have to kill any zombies or she doesn't have to do anything like that. She can just kind of stay inside the Commonwealth and practice law. I mean, I guess for her, maybe she's okay with that because it was her, her job before. But there is a theme in this issue as well, too, which is kind of the differentiation between who people were before the zombie apocalypse started and who they are now. The Commonwealth mainly sees it as like they're pretty much the same. Like they're the same pretty much now in the zombie apocalypse as they were before, which is pretty strange because I don't think Michonne is the same as she was before this whole thing happened and after everything she struggled to survive through and everything that's happened. I'm going to be surprised if she can actually just practice law and have that be it. So predictions for further issues, I guess. I think what she'll try to do is she'll try to do it for her daughter, but she'll just not be able to do it because she'll have to tell them that she can't do it because this isn't who she is anymore. She's seen so much during the zombie apocalypse, and she's experienced so much and had to live through so much hardship. I can't see her just kind of going back to the regular run-of-the-mill, swing of things and just kind of work this kind of job and have that be it and have this kind of pampered lifestyle and everything in this class system. I don't think she's going to go for it. So I think we will see Michonne maybe try to leave with her daughter at some point here, and then the question of whether or not they will let her leave, what this whole thing looks like. Is going to be very interesting for sure, but that's where I see this going right now. So we have all that good stuff, and we have, let's see, Dwight with Laura. So Dwight returns to her, and he's he's behind Rick 100%, even though they're kind of at odds right now because of what's happened recently and them kind of having words in that, and Dwight being a bit mistrusting of Rick and the whole thing that happened with Sherry in that. But as Laura points out, she was crazy, right? The comic book version of Sherry was wicked crazy. The television series version is different, I want to say. She doesn't seem to be as crazy as the comic version, but the comic version definitely recently has seemed pretty crazy. So that's funny. Let's see. So we have the Pamela and Rick actual talk. So the question of equality, and Rick kind of letting her know that everybody in Alexandria is equal. He lives in whichever house, just like anybody else does, and that his house now, I like this one too, is actually bigger than it was before the zombie apocalypse when he was just a small town cop, right? So humble beginnings, but I think that's respectable. I don't see anything wrong with being a small town. I think that's a perfectly respectable profession. I don't think anybody should be looking down on that as and it doesn't make sense to me. But then again, I guess I'm kind of more in line with Rick's thinking here that nobody is better than anyone else. But she's kind of certainly she doesn't agree with that and the whole class system that they got going on at the Commonwealth. So I liked all that stuff. It was good. And then we earn a place here in a new world. So in the separation between the prior and the current, after everything that they've survived, the mention of the wars and with Rick and the others having been through a couple wars there and all the battle and the hardship and everything, the Commonwealth hasn't had any. And there's kind of maybe a point here where she kind of refers to him as maybe, like with Rick being tougher than he looks, because she kind of looks at Rick and she thinks like he's all beaten up and stuff, but she doesn't realize just how tough Rick actually is and how much he's actually been through. Even though he's missing one hand, he certainly can handle himself, and I don't think she realizes how strong he actually is. Or maybe it's us. Maybe it's me not giving her enough credit, but I don't think that's the case. I think she just has Mercer do everything. There's the meet-out point, so they're going to have some people go out and meet the other part of the Commonwealth and have them kind of come over there, and so we'll see the main group stay there between Rick and the others, and then the other go over. So we are in a new place, in a new world, and then she talks about the world order, right? So I like this one too, right? It gives me a 90s throwback feel with NWO, right? New World Order is awesome. So she mentions it as being the world order, and then in a wicked, awesome splash page at the end here, we get to see a standoff with Rick says, then maybe we need a new world order. So I thought that was wicked. Really cool. So I like the issue a lot. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's just that it went by really quick. It felt like a comic book series always like that, right? It's not like an episode of a TV show where you get a solid hour. You might be able to breeze through this one in 10 or 15, 20 minutes. But that's not to say it isn't worth it. I think it's great setup, and we have a lot of things going on here, and we just really don't know the direction of where this is going to go. It really seems like from what we're seeing right now, she kind of rubs Rick the wrong way, calling herself governor and stuff, which you can appreciate and you can understand. But to me, it's just so strange because you see Rick and the others, and they've just been through so much. They fought wars. They've lost a lot of people, and they've been kind of struggling to survive. They've dealt with huge zombie herds and everything else. And it just seems like the Commonwealth have just not had a hard time at all. Like they've just been, they've got their working class, the foundation, whatever. And then aside from that, they just kind of chill. And that's how they've been able to survive so far. I don't know, man. It's just so strange to me. So, but I guess every different community comes from a different walk of life. And for one reason or another, the Commonwealth was lucky enough not to, I guess, get into it with another huge, group that could challenge them. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see if Michonne ends up wanting to leave, if they let her leave, and if somehow, the Commonwealth here starts some kind of problem with Rick and the others, and just how this whole thing goes. So a pretty decent issue, but aside from the meeting and the other things I mentioned here, just a little short for me. But again, it's comics, so each issue can only contain so many pages. You get your 24 pages or whatever, and that's it. So that'll be it for my review for this one, guys. I enjoyed the issue. Just wish we could have seen more. And if you like this review, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. Bottom left to subscribe. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.